Carl Fancher,
Here.
Earl Matthijs. Here. Robert Troutman. Kelly Smith.
Here.
Officials,
Yes.
Gary Sutton.
She's
Richard, I am here. Richard Irwin. Marie Stuber. Diane Williams. Here. David Porter.
Here. And if you could please note that Michael West, town attorney, is also here. If we could stand for the pledge, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll wait till they come in. I don't know. Might stand room only, I guess. There's a couple chairs, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's all right, we can stand.
You got 2 chairs over here.
Oh, thank you.
I can stand as well if you want to.
John, I signed you in, I signed you guys all in.
Right here, you can sit.
Sit sideways. Sit sideways.
Okay, I guess we're good to go. Before we start, I think it's important that I make a statement here before we get into the privilege of the floor and the rest of the meeting. We do have a pretty big agenda. We were requested by Mr. Russell last Thursday no, we weren't requested, we were told he was going to live stream the meeting. Okay. We don't have any objection to that. But he gave us very little notice, and it says right in the open meeting laws, the town has a right to put together certain regulations and processes. But, and that's fine, we would like to do that. We would like to understand the process. We're not opposed at all to the live streaming of the meeting. So I asked Mr. Russell, I think it was Thursday, no, maybe it was Saturday morning, to please hold off, and we would get together and have a meeting to discuss how we were going to do this. Mr. Russell responded that he didn't agree, that he had asked me about this in January of 2020.
Correct.
It's 2 years ago, and this law wasn't even in place. That didn't give, I'm speaking. And frankly, the fact that this town board unanimously decided that we should push it out a month. It's not a big deal. We never had it before. All of a sudden, we've got to have it now. Problem is that we needed to do this, but there's a bigger issue anymore. It transcends this whole thing with the streaming. Much bigger issue. You've got an elected board of 5 people here who are charged by the voters, the citizens of this town, to run the town, make the laws, a few we do, run the meetings, collect the taxes, set the budget. And for Mr. Russell, or anybody else for that matter, it's just not you, to feel that they can say, I don't agree and I'm going to do it, frankly, is arrogant and it takes a lot of gall.
It's the law.
It's the law.
You're breaking the
I'm
law.
not discussing this with you. And if you do have an issue, that's fine. I respect that.
I cited the law to you. You omitted the part of the law that said it was legal for me to do this. So,
Anyway,
let's be fair. I share all the laws with Matt
Yes,
and
very
you with
good.
everyone.
Very good. Now,
You
the
know you're
town
breaking the
board
law.
has set the requirement, and I'll ask the town attorney if we're being unreasonable here in a moment. Okay? But for somebody to decide that they're not going to do this because they disagree. I mean, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, the person who disagrees has a grievance, and they probably do. There are avenues to pursue those grievances within the state and the other body, maybe open government, whatever. And that's the way to do that. Not just to flaunt it, I'm going to do it anyway. Because that is arrogant and it's a total disrespect, not just to the board, who cares? It's a total disrespect to the people of the town of Conesville that elected these 5 people to run the town. Nobody's above that. And this is what we're getting right now. So I'm going to ask the town attorney to opine if we are correct in saying we just wanted to cancel for 1 month.
This board has the right to set reasonable rules and regulations. As it is certainly allowed for people to record meetings, whether by tape recorders, cameras, but there's certainly no reason why this board can't take 1 month. And I saw your response to this gentleman, asking for that 1 month, and that it would probably start in next month. And then I saw his reply back with all kinds of case law. The bottom line is, this board has every right to do what it's doing. You're being reasonable, you're totally within the law. So, you're not denying them, you're just postponing them. So, that's my opinion, that you're totally within your rights of doing what you do. Period.
So the question, Fred, is, will you show respect to the town and the board? Shut it down, and we will get
You are
together.
breaking the law. You are breaking the law. You showed me precedent because I showed you all the case
I'm
law.
advising
Bill
the board.
Federice cited a portion of the law that says you guys can have a meeting and all that. He omitted part 1 that said I have granted permission from New York to do this. If you read it, then you read it too. He cited section 2, omitting section 1, which granted permission.
I am speaking to the board. The board has every right to do what it's doing. You're not violating any laws. You're not violating the spirit of any laws.
The board did not call a special session.
Excuse me. The gentleman speaking. The board is not violating any laws. You're not violating the spirit of any laws. You have the right to set any reasonable rules and regulations for your board and the handling of your meetings. That's it. Now, this gentleman may not agree, and that's fine. Everybody certainly has their opinion, so that's my opinion. I'm your legal counsel.
So the offer still stands that we'll meet with you and set up an appropriate process. You can do the streaming as soon as we have a process. But I don't think that is unreasonable, and I just ask you to respect the people in this town that voted for us as well as the board.
Am I allowed to
We'll
speak?
work with you.
Am I allowed to speak?
Yeah.
I provided 724 days notice that I was going to do this. I provided an outline demonstrating exactly what equipment was involved in doing this, what was necessary, that I was incurring all costs, and the town had no costs. 2 full years notice. You're saying I gave you short notice. I gave 2 years notice. The pandemic has only gotten worse. We're in the height of it right now in Schoharie in terms of infection rates. We all know that. That's why we're wearing masks. People want to tune in remotely. Counties and towns all over the country are doing this. I don't understand the apprehension towards public health. Now, you guys can cite the laws as you see them fit, but I know the laws and I understand, Mr. West, that you are siding with them, but respectfully, I think you are disregarding the law. Secondly, I am following the law. I'm within my rights to record a meeting. I'm not doing anything. You are making this obtrusive. I came in to be quiet, sit here and do nothing, and just do what I had to do, and you shut down the internet so that I couldn't even stream it. You took the proactive measure to shut down the internet so that I couldn't share this meeting with the townspeople. How do you think that's okay? How many people emailed you today saying, thank you, Mr. Federice, for allowing us to have this streaming meeting? Because multiple people CC'd me on emails they sent you, saying that they were really happy about it. So if people are saying they're happy, And the Facebook community on the Wyndham, Prattsville, Gilboa Conversations page, they're all happy. People were enthused that we were going to do this. I don't understand the apprehension. I'm trying to keep people safe, stop community spread, allow more people to participate. There's no cost to the town. You're not having to input anything. I'm doing it all for free so Carrie and everyone else can have an accurate recording of what happens in these meetings. Because to be fair, as Brenda pointed out in her final statement, and as several people have pointed out, the meeting minutes are not necessarily demonstrative of exactly what happens in these meetings. They omit things by coincidence. And that happens not once, not twice, but many times. So for Carrie to do her job properly, what is wrong with her having a recording that she could reference, that she could always know is real? And if someone said, what happened in that meeting, she could say, hold on, let me give you the clip. Because that's what efficiency is. That's what I'm trying to bring. The Conesville website is all about that. This was going to feed into the website. People were tuning in tonight to the Conesville website to see this meeting. And you shut down the townspeople. So yes, we have a room full here, but there were more people going to be streaming it tonight at home than there are in this room. And you took that away from those townspeople. So you're telling me I'm being disrespectful to the town, but is that respectful that in the middle of a pandemic at 12 degrees, when people are sick, that I'm trying to help them stay home, stay warm, and stay safe, and still attend the meeting, and you think I'm doing something bad and malicious? I'm paying for everything. It's thousands of dollars that you are not spending. Nobody in this room is having to
None of this
spend.
has anything to do
So,
with the dollar
I mean-
value of what this is, Fred. This has to do with the fact, all we want to do is sit with you and discuss how it's going to
Absolutely.
be done.
I wanted to do the same. Mr. Federice has cut me off for 2 years. I've been trying to do
And
this.
that's fine.
It's
Now
his fault,
it came to
not
the
mine.
board. I saw the email that he sent back to you that said we would sit with you and talk with you very soon.
After
and
2
make
years
it
of
so-
not.
I don't care if it was after 22 years, Fred. This is what transpired the last 3 or 4 days. And you were asked to just hold off for 1 month. None of us are opposed to the town all knowing everything
Then
that went on here.
why are we making any ordeal of this at all? There is no reason to
Because,
make an ordeal. This was
you
literally
didn't respond by, yes, we'll have that meeting and then we'll start it next month.
because I cited the
We've
two
gone on
laws.
forever.
Mr. Federice is breaking the law. I'm sorry, with all due respect, I am within my legal rights to do what I'm doing, and you guys are making it into something that it's not. I'm trying to help the town.
No, I worry about whether or not you are really trying to help the town, Fred.
Oh.
You know, your credibility here is not as high as you think it is.
Oh,
You sat in one of our meetings a couple of years ago with an audio recorder that no one else knew about until you were called out on it. When you put up this Town of Conesville website, you called it Town of Conesville. But you're the only administrator to that Town of Conesville website. When you were asked to remove something that this board did not approve, you refused.
So if
I'm
I told
sorry,
someone to
your
remove something from that
credibility is
house,
not
that would,
there.
this is really like two-sided because you're telling me you told me to remove something from technically my private property. And
From your
and because
website,
wait a
not
second,
the Town
wait a
of
second,
Conesville's
because
website. Thank
because
you.
I didn't
I rest
listen,
my case.
it was shunned, but other people in the room here can do the same, and it doesn't matter. Firstly, the New York Post is not owned by New York. The New York Times, guess what? New York State, they have no access to monitor or change the New York Times. Do they disclaim on there that we're not owned by New York State? No.
That has a lot of relevance
Okay.
to it.
You know, the point is that the Conesville website is an experience. We created a multi-page experience for people to learn about our town. How could you discount the
It
value to
is,
that?
it is the Town of Conesville through the eyes of Fred Ruckel.
You are completely off base.
You don't take something off that the town board doesn't agree with after you've been asked to. That is your website. That is no longer the Town of Conesville.
I'm sorry,
website.
you're referencing Bill Federice telling me to remove the statement about the Paris Accord from 2016 when Donald Trump removed us from the Paris Accord, and I put on there that we supported the Paris Accord, and Federice said remove it, and I said, well, we support the Paris Accord. Well, guess what? We are all in the Paris Accord. So
Who is we?
Many people.
Town of Conesville.
Look,
That's
this
bogus,
crony
man.
circle is your circle. There are a lot of people in this town that
But
really
you
care
can't
about
talk
the
for
town.
everybody in the town, Fred.
First of
No,
all, I don't talk for
All right,
anybody.
guys, let's bring it down a level.
come here and you harass us every time you come here.
Harass?
You harass me at my place of work. I'm tired of it, Fred.
Harass.
Yes, harass.
You guys are a class.
When I'm
I don't
working.
harass anybody about anything.
Bullshit.
Wish this was on the screen. But anyway,
Yeah, if you shut it down, it would have been great.
yeah, well, we get together as gentlemen, we can work it out, and you can do it next month.
I sent
Fair
you
enough.
an email
I
in
don't
November
think we're
asking you to
going
get
forward.
together, and you said to me specifically, and I quote, "I'll think about it."
Yeah.
Well, that was in November. You never thought about it, and the pandemic
Alright.
got worse. So we had to make a decision.
Thank you, Fred. Town attorney,
I just
you
think
have any
move ahead
final
with
word
your,
on this?
just move ahead with your agenda.
Okay. You have, well, you already got a lot of time, but that was to give his No, he asked for 5 minutes, he's gonna get 5 minutes. You still need the 5 minutes?
Sure, absolutely. Well, as many of you have heard, no one wants our live stream. However, the goal is to bring the town together. There is quite a divided town right now. If it's not evident as what's seen here right now, I don't know what else is. However, everyone in town has a right to attend these meetings, whether they're in person or at home. With the pandemic raging as it is right now, people really should be afforded the opportunity to sit home and watch the meeting. I don't understand any apprehension towards it. However, we can sit and we can talk. I'm more than happy to. I was the one that extended an olive branch to you, Mr. Federice, asking specifically for that. You denied me that right in November, and then I wrote to you again saying, we got to do this because look, everybody's saying in-person meetings should be canceled because the pandemic is so high. Today's Schoharie County Health Department posted that we are 200% higher this week than last week. This right here could be a super spreader event. I'm trying to help stop community spread with allowing all of the community people that are weekenders, people that live down in the city or Long Island to be able to log in and watch what's happening in this town meeting. I don't understand why you don't want it. We can meet about it, but to take away people's rights to be part of the town is not right. I'm sorry, this is my privilege of the floor. And to further to say I am harassing, I come here and I present at these meetings different things to help the town. You can't like me when it's good for you and not when it's not good for you. Bill Federice used to be my champion and sent emails to the county how great our website was. Conesville has the best website of all of the towns. I have the emails, I forward them to you, Bill. You said
please
this.
do.
You've praised what I've done for the town. And then when it wasn't convenient, you then said my website is not official, it's not. Bill, it helps everyone. It helps for you to discount that we created a place for people to experience Conesville anywhere in the world is ridiculous.
Thank you, Fred. Okay, did anybody else sign up for privilege of the floor?
Not prior to the meeting starting. Did anyone else sign up after, because several people came on?
Okay. Let's move
Where's that
along
tape
then.
on, Fred?
Excuse me?
Are you taping us?
I'm recording them over
They're
there.
taping that small tape, you have a small tape there about the.
Yes,
Recording it.
absolutely.
Right?
He can do an audio.
I can do audio or video. I can do whatever I want. Just can't,
You doing a video?
I can do audio and
Yeah,
video
yeah,
if I
yeah,
want to do audio and video. I'm not getting anybody but the town board in my video, so it's not disruptive of anything. Public officials are the only people seen in my video.
All right. On advice of town council.
Please go to the agenda.
Okay.